The key to success is in my hands. As soon as I understand, I've got to treat with my feet. I've got to treat with my feet. Nobody else can rescue me. I've got to treat with my feet. If I wanna have more peace in my life, I need to take the time to listen to the voice inside. If I know who I am and my aim is true, the only thing I've got to do, I've got to treat with my feet. I've got to treat with my feet. Nobody else can rescue me. I've got to treat with my feet. I'm so glad that it's up to me. I've got to treat with my feet. I've got to treat with my feet. I've got to treat and move my My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. Oh Lord, my God, you are my strength. You carry me on your wings. You are in me, you know my heart. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. Your constant blessings flow to me like a mighty river to my heart. You are my life, you set me free, and I will love you forever and ever and ever and ever, forever and ever and ever and ever. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today, we step into the flow of preparation, into the flow of excitement, and into the flow of gratitude for our upcoming celebration. Today, we hold in our mind and heart that our life is God's gift to us. What we do with our life is our gift to God. Today, we are so thankful and grateful to participate in the celebration of oneness. In this celebration of affirming our life is God's life, we let this go, and in Zoe's immortal words, we fling it into the universe, and so it is.
And so it is. Ooh, thank you, Judy. Good morning, everybody. Oh my God, like my favorite people are here. I'm so excited. What an amazing day. Thank you for coming out in the sun to join us. So, guess what? We're an interfaith gathering, a spiritual community that honors all teachings and all spiritual teachers. And so now we begin the ceremony that celebrates this oneness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths come from the one universal presence, which we call spirit. And so our candle lighter this morning is Anne Fleming. And so let us begin. The Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. Shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of pristine spirituality. Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and that path of compassion. Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. Of course, New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. Now, our last candle is that healing candle of love. And we invite you, whether you're at home or here, in the stillness of your own mind, to bring to awareness the names of anyone that you wish to be included in this healing flame of love and of light. And now that our flames of faith are fully lit, we move forward into our celebration, realizing and reaffirming that all paths lead to God. Thank you, Anne. All right, so I would be blessed if you guys would join us in our purpose, vision, and mission statement this morning. Our purpose, our reason for being, to awaken and inspire love and oneness. All right, our vision, what do we want to create or become? We are an empowered, uplifting, inclusive community. And our mission, how are we going to do this? To teach spiritual transformation with grace and joy. Awesome, thank you. So today, we are so lucky. We have 3 sacred readings today. Yes, when Dad sent it to me at 3 a.m, I was overwhelmed. So the first one comes from the 2015 International Year of Light and Light-Based Technologies. Perhaps of more importance to us was the formation of the sun and the solar system, including our planet, about 4.5 billion years ago. Earth has been bathed with light from the sun ever since. It is our most important source of energy. Sunlight warms us, causes weather patterns, allows plants to manufacture oxygen and our food from carbon dioxide and water, and it allows us to to find our way around during the daytime. Yeah. So our second reading is by Jean Stralendorf. It's an article from The Symbolism of Light in Religion. It is recognized that world religions often utilize the analogy of light when speaking of a divine presence in human life, eternity, and the depth of life. Many religions believe that a soul awakens in light and reveals the sacred depths within us. Now, in Western tradition, and indeed in the Celtic tradition, thought has often been compared to light. In its luminosity, the intellect was deemed to be the place of the divine within us. And of course, we can't go anywhere without sharing what Ernest Holmes wrote. We have within us a power that is greater than anything that we shall ever contact in the outer. A power that can overcome every obstacle in our life and set us safe, satisfied, and at peace, healed and prosperous in a new light and in a new life.
Let there be less of me, let there be more of thee, less of the human, more of the divine, less that belongs to me, more that is thine, more of God's nature, and less that is mine. Order and harmony now are in place. Where there is harmony, discord will cease. Where there is harmony, there will be peace. Not personality, individuality, more of the spirit self shining through me. Teach me humility, let me your servant be. Give me serenity, selfless and free. Order and harmony now are in place. Where there is harmony, discord will cease. Where there is harmony, there will be peace. Let there be less of me, let there be more of thee, less of the human, more of the divine, less of the human, more of the divine.
Of course, Jessica and our phenomenal stand-in piano player, Eric. Thank you so much, you guys. Oh, Oh my gosh, I'm looking out. I'm so excited. I can barely I just want to say hi to everybody and have hugs. So, but I'm up here for a reason, right? Okay. So let's talk about prayer. Woohoo! Did anybody pray in the last 14 months? Oh, wait. Did anybody stop praying in the last 14 months? But now we're back in person, and so we have that exciting thing called written prayer requests that are actually on so the prayer box still works. We tried it out this morning. So feel free to write down your prayer before you leave for those of you who are here in person. And for those of you who are joining us over this amazing technology, go to our website, drop us a prayer 24/7. We are here. This is what we believe in, and this would be an honor to do for you, for all of you. So we have one announcement today, and that is that we are beefing up our sound team. We have Amy, Bob, and Neil. But if you would like to be a part of that team, because now it's got several moving parts now that we go live every Sunday, please reach out to either Reverend Don or somebody on the sound team. But if you're being called, answer. Oh, today. So today we have a special guest speaker. And speaking of prayer, my prayer today was giving thanks that 18 years ago, this man was born. And so, 18, well, I was going to let you correct that. But so today, not only are we going to have a phenomenal speaker, but we also get to celebrate him in his birthday. So, Dad, happy birthday. We're so glad you're here. And now, back to some amazing special music.
Spirit is joy, oh holy joy. Spirit is joy, oh holy joy. Spirit is joy, oh holy joy. Let your light blaze through. Spirit is joy, oh holy joy. Springs from my soul to you. Catch on fire with the zeal of God. Oh, let your light blaze through. Let your image reflect the truth that you are God's own child. Shout about the light within, holy, pure, and undefiled. Spirit is joy, oh holy joy, springs from my soul to you. Catch on fire with the zeal of God, oh let your light blaze through. Dance and sing, loud, laugh and shout, creation gives you the cue. You say that your God is love, well it's time to know it's true. Spirit is joy, oh holy joy, springs from my soul to you. Catch on fire with the zeal of God, oh let your light blaze through.
Thank you, Jessica. Awesome. And Eric, all right, I really enjoyed, I caught you on the internet last weekend, and fantastic. You're a fantastic player. I'm so happy you're here today again. Thank you. And it's not kind of nice, no, Aaron and Eric, I can't remember your name. All right. Well, according to an old Hindu legend, there was a time period when all of humanity knew that they were gods. And according to the legend, they began to abuse that knowledge, wisdom, and power. So the great god Brahma decided to take that knowledge of their divinity away from them. But he realized that if I took it away, though, I had to figure out how to hide it from them so they'll never find it again. So he called to gathering of all the other gods. And he says, we have a problem here. Where can we hide the divinity of humanity so they'll never find it again and never abuse it again? So some of the gods recommended, why don't we hide it in the deep depths of the earth? Sure, they'll never find it there. Brahma said, nah, those humans, they will dig deep. looking for gold and oil. They'll find it. Another god said, well, the oil probably wasn't part of the legend. Another god says, I have an idea. Let's bury in the depths, the deep depths of the ocean. They can't swim. Sure, they'll never find it there. Brahma said, nah, they are so creative and inventive. They'll create apparatus and they'll dive deep in the deepest of the ocean and they'll find it. Another said, I know what. Let's hide it in the snow cap of the highest mountains, the highest mountain on the planet Earth. Brahma said, no, I'll assure you, they will climb all the peaks of the earth and they will surely find it. So the great Brahma thought and contemplated, and he said, I know where to hide it. Sure, they will never find it. We'll hide it in It's so good to be here today. It's so good to be here alive, right? And in living color. All right? It's been a long journey. And surely we have found a way of making it back to this place called the Alaska Center for Spiritual Living. And so my topic today is the secret light, L.I.G.H.T. Of course, Kaleem always speaks in acronyms, okay? And my intention is to remind us that a secret is often in history and even today is information that's typically reserved for the privileged or something that is obvious to those with insight. So I want to share the light, L-I-G-H-T, of awareness on what many consider the greatest secret of all times. And the great Brahma tried to hide it from us. So we're going to start with L-I-G-H-T, the L. That stands for the light. For us to be able to seek the light, we have to make an intentional decision to let it come on to us. So we know from all the ancient teachings, we as human beings have a choice. And part of that choice is that we're seeking the light, that which is part of the reading today, which is that energy, that power, that's often a symbolism of intellectual understanding. It's often a symbolism of spiritual enlightenment. Light is that energy force that we not only energizes our soil, that helps us to grow our beautiful gardens and a beautiful green that we have here in Alaska, but it also energizes our soul. However, for us to let that light be known to us, we have to decide to let it. It's a decision, it's a choice. So I'm telling you a secret today, right? That the secret is, if we want to be empowered by the catch the fire of the zealous fire of God, as the song indicated, we have to decide to let it be part of us and let it grow and expand and aware of us. Light, L-I, the I, is an inward job. You probably already figured that out, right? Because you're a great audience of super insight. Okay? It's an inside job. We as human beings are part of all of creation. And according to my understanding, that according to great religious legends, in the beginning was only, this is a classroom exercise, in the beginning was God, okay? And so if God, according to our human understanding, in the beginning there was only God, and then from there came all of us, right? Yeah. Then it's a little hint that maybe we came from God also. And we might be made of God's stuff, right? And then we also know on the planet Earth itself, now if we have this beautiful planet Earth, and all the 4.5 billion years it takes to develop where we are today, and on this planet Earth, then I'm assuming that this wonderful planet Earth also came from the infinite, we like to call God. So in my imagination, and you can help me on this, okay? If there's only God in the beginning, then God decided to act like Earth. And we call it the first dimension of our earthly living. Ernest Holmes says it sleeps in the mineral. And it waves in the grass, second dimension. And this grass has sensitivity to light, right? A plant, even though it is like the mineral, it can't necessarily move around from the ground. But when the light comes, it follows the light, right? And when it's a seed in the soil and the warmness of the sun warms the soil, it begins to unfold. Second dimension, sensitivity to light and the willingness to at least follow the light. Then we describe the third dimension is animal life. Scurry about the earth, reproduce, it can move. However, and it operates by what we call instinct. And according to some human understandings, I'm sure those who have pets might have a different understanding about this, but they're somewhat limited based on their natural instinct. And they can only live in certain environments because they're only adapted to that. Then comes the fourth dimension of life called humans with intellect living in animal bodies. They call it incarnation, right? Now, what's the difference between ourselves and our pets or animals, supposedly? I'm saying supposedly now. I know you pet lovers, you know more than this, right? Okay, all right. Supposedly, we have now the intellect of self-awareness and knowledge. And yes, we also have instincts, but we can override our instinct with our intuition, with our intellect. So we go from the first to the second, that which is mineral, sleeping, that which is the grass, waving, that which is the animal, scampering about, and that which is the intellect of the humans. Now, what's the difference between ourselves and animals? We are not contained by our environment. We are really not indigenous to any environment. We are what's called endogenous, which means no matter where we find ourselves, we can adapt our environment or adapt to our environment to exist. That's probably why a lot of us are in Alaska today. All right, because we can adapt and we create. All right, and then there's another level. And this is that level that the great mystics of the past call that enlightenment. And it's called the fifth dimension, cosmic consciousness. When we transcend the earthly understanding of all the dimensions, we even transcend the intellectual, and we realize there's something else, and that's called the spirituality. We call ourselves the Center for Spiritual Living, that which is infinite, beyond all human understanding. So therefore, we are the L.I.G., the G for the gods of the earth. We are gods of our understanding, only limited by our understanding. And our highest understanding, the highest understanding we could ever achieve, is to become aware and awake that we are expressions of the one infinite, by whatever names we choose to call it. And the ultimate truth proposed by many great mystics, the ultimate truth that you and I as human beings understand is that we are one with our Creator. And there's only one, and one scripture says, I am the Lord thy God. There is no other. That's a meditation. If you think about the one God and there's no other. And so we have a particular opportunity here because there's the exoteric, what I just talked about, understanding, which means I'm letting in the highest truth. That's the sense of duality, am I correct? I'm letting in. Then there's the esoteric, the more inner understanding, in which rather than letting in, I'm listening to that which already is within me. And more inwardly, to begin with, God's highest truth. And in many different philosophies, we say that I and my Father are one. And some African philosophy that Nelson Mandela ascribed to is called Ubuntu. Not only is it about me, but it's also about you. And here's what I'm proposing. that we here at the Alaska Center for Spiritual Living have a grand opportunity. Okay, okay. This is my Superman suit, okay? Okay, because we have said here at the Alaska Center for Spiritual Living, all right, that we are recognizing and we're seeking that truth that had been lost to humanity for many years, and some would question whether we ever knew it, except for the privileged and the few. And now it's becoming more common knowledge of who and what we are and what our infinite opportunities are to do. There's something about the Alaska Center for Spiritual Living. We have what's called a starburst. Have you paid attention to that before? This is symbolic of the fact that we are saying, this is a Kaleemism here now, right? Okay, that we understand there is a great light, and guess who it is? It's you and it's me. Star ray, remember now, a starburst means something is coming from the center and is emanating outwardly, like our sun does for us, and it warms. So what I'm going to encourage each one of us to do is continue to take advantage of this great understanding that we have, that we are the light. But something I also understand about energy, right? Light, which is a form of energy, it must have a body or form to move through and to act through. Otherwise, it's just passive, inactive energy. Guess who that body, that form could be? It's all about you, okay? The me, all right? So I'm going to encourage us here at this center and all the centers throughout the earth and all spiritual centers, all synagogues and churches, let us go deep into the earth. Let us go deep into the depths of our soul. Let us scale the highest mountain of human consciousness and practice and become more deeply aware of who we truly are. So what we just now coming through this great pandemic, and remember I said some 12 months ago that I knew we were going to come through this. That's why I called it not a pandemic of infection, but we can choose to make this a pandemic of affection, in which we more deeply become aware of who and what we are and what is ours to do. And here's some tools that we have here at the Alaska Center for Spiritual Living and all the Centers for Spiritual Living. And these are not exclusive to us, because we know that all great truths and religions know this truth. There's a way that we can get back to the deep knowledge of who we are and how to use it. And I call it the how to clad ourselves, C-L-A-D. Begin to continue to practice some form of meditation or prayer that you're being centered and paying attention and opening yourself to listen or to let in the infinite truth of who and what you are, your oneness with the infinite presence of God. L, clad, listen. Take time to listen. The Holy Spirit, or that which the light of the infinite is always speaking. The question is, are we always listening? And I'm going to recommend that we no longer call it the still small voice. Call it the great booming voice. Okay? All right, the Kaleem voice. Okay? So declare, because you have the right to declare that it speaks loudly to me. And I hear and I act on it. And then, of course, the clad, the A, is affirm. Live an affirmative life. Live a life in which we're speaking constantly is that I can do this. For we know in this philosophy that every problem comes with a solution. Every question infinitely comes with an answer. That's the way that's the way life is. It's called the law of emergent. Whenever we put a demand on life, life always has the response to the demand. And here we are with the greatness of humanity. We've come to this great pandemic because we responded to the call. And we're coming through it, and we'll continue to do that. Okay? And the D for clad is to demonstrate. Do something with your light. The energy from the great star, okay, has to have a body, somebody to act through. And I'm encourage us who have this great knowledge and such a great privilege, such a great insight to know that we are one with the infinite presence, and there is no other because there's only one. So once again, I'm going to take us back to the great Brahma, in which he said, I know where we can hide it, and they will never figure it out. I'm going to take us back to the great pandemic of the 21st century, and we're going to have a dis-ease to rock the whole planet Earth to see will they figure out how to solve it. I'm going to take your personal life, and you might be going through a physical dis-ease or disharmony in your physical body. You know what you can do with it, right? You can figure it out. Go deep into your conscience and have your intuition guide you to what to do. Some of us are having relationship challenges. More than the pandemic, it's a personal situation. More than global, it's personal. There's a way to that. Commit yourself to spiritual practices. Clad yourself and know that what you need to know is already available to us. Yes, so the great Brahma thought he could hide it from us, the great knowledge of who we are. But we do know, even through the great Buddha, through the eight sacred paths, there's a way. Empty yourself, your identity, thinking you're only the physical earth expression, and become one. We know in Judaism, who brought to the world there is only this one God. And but yet it was that exoteric God. But then there was a path called the Kabbalist that says, and we're one with that God. There is no other. And then we know in Christianity, the great teacher Jesus, when the last parts of his teaching was, eat of what I have, what I am, become one with me. And become one, and I pray that you will become one as my Father and I are one. And in Islam, only one God, there is no other. One God, there is no other. And the great Sufis broke off and said, and this one God is us. They went to the depths of the earth, the depths of the ocean, and they concluded that we are one with the infinite. And then, of course, there's that great movement, conscious movement, called New Thought. And we're constantly open to a new thought. And we have these great teachers, such as Ernest Holmes, who had the ability to synthesize all the great paths and bring it all together. And he saw this golden thread of consistency going through all the various paths and religions, including not only philosophy and religion, but also in science. And he agreed with Jung, the great psychiatrist, and Albert Einstein, the great scientist, who discovered the unified field. We are one. So here at New Thought, we are privileged. We are unique because we have insight. But now that I told you that, guess what? Everyone's privileged. And everyone has the divine insight because everyone is God incarnate, the infinite expressing in infinite ways and means. Let us pray. So with this great gathering and this wonderful gathering in person, and those of us who joined us, who continue to join us in cyber, what I like to call cyberspace, but we know that we're in virtually, but we're all truly one consciousness, one life, one God. And I am so thankful that in this day, in this time, not only is the sun shining literally 24 hours a day in Alaska, but the light of the divine is shining 24 hours a day in the souls of us as humanity. And as the earth has been warmed and is allowing the seeds to blossom in the beauty of our planet Earth to show its glory, so the sun of the divine has shined upon each one of us. And that hidden seed is now opening, taking root, and blossoming, and giving of itself. So I know this divine law that as I give, I shall receive, and as I give, more is received. As one seed can create an orchid, as well as an orchard, so I know this divine wisdom that we have is pandemic and is now causing a chain of reaction around the planet Earth so that all can proclaim that we are one. And we have infinite potential, infinite possibilities, and now we continue to move forward from our personal concerns to our global concerns, and knowing for every question there is an answer, and for every problem there is a solution. And in this day, we can celebrate in the great solstice with the sun shining 24 hours a day and declare the glory of the Lord is upon us, and the world without ends is within us. And for this, I'm so thankful that it is so. Please join me in affirming, and so it is. Amen. Thank you.
When everything changes, I can change anything. Turning the pages, everything's new. If life's little stages are teaching me anything, it's everything changes and I can change too. Used to be when things got crazy, I'd get to feeling low, but I found out I can't let that faze me. Honey, now I know. When everything changes, I can change anything. Turning the pages, everything's new. If life's little stages are teaching me anything, it's everything changes and I can change too. Who expects why it works this way? Well, it's kind of strange, but it's true. When everything changes, I can change anything. Turning the pages, everything's new. If life's little stages are teaching me anything, it's everything changes and I can change too. Everything changes and I can change too. Everything changes and I can change too.
All right. Well, thank you. What a great message. Went over really well since it's summer. I know what the light is and I know where it is. So, now comes the time where we are granted the honor to be able to tithe back to our spiritual home. We're able to activate having the lights on and the doors open and everybody coming in to greet each other with hugs and love. So as you're getting your tithing ready, I do feel, in honor of the Rev, that I need to do a joke. So you ready? What makes a joke a dad joke? It becomes apparent. Come on, I'm working it. And this is also the time when, excuse me, I lose my voice. We just want to say hi to all those who have joined us online. Dawn, Macon, Lynn and Marion, Julie, Amy, Michelle Kuntz, and Elaine. I'm sure she's probably this big by now. Patty in Fairbanks, welcome. Deirdre, Marilyn Connolly, Luann, Cindy Hensley and Cynthia George, Jessica Johnson, and Blaze. We loved you last week, my friend. So let's go ahead and put your tithing on your heart, and let's say our blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is. And our affirmation today is, and so when the basket goes around, take an affirmation. My affirmation is, what a blessing to know Kaleem Nuriddin. Happy birthday, my friend.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind and hear Spirit gently say, there is only love, there is only love, love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
Beautiful. And so as we close today, I just encourage you all to read the news e-blast that we send out, because as we open up more and more things like meditation and stuff like that, that's how we're going to let you know. But today, in closing, let us not wait for the booming voice to create a pandemic of affection. Let the light within out. Let it burst forward each day. Dust off your Superman suit by listening to what already is. And that is, we are the light, and we are one. Please help me anchor this by saying, and so it is.